Hello everyone and welcome to our next Teachitright Tuesday update video. These are going to be the messages for the 5th of October. We've got quite a few messages to go through with you, so we'll make a start. So just a reminder, this is our next Teachitright Tuesday update video and these are the messages from the 5th of October. Actually going to start with just talking about some of the messages that have come out of the centres. First of all, just to let you know, we are starting our assessment week on the 9th of October. This is an opportunity for us to get the children to do a test in their respective subjects to find out how they're getting on and also to be able to feed back to you and let you know how they fared in verbal reasoning, non-verbal reasoning, and be able to give you then some feedback in the parent meetings. There will be an email that will be sent out for you to book your parent meeting slot, so please do look out for that. Most of those meetings will take place over Zoom. We do have a few face-to-face meetings for those tutors who have a number of students, just to make it easier for them to arrange. Can I also draw your attention to the Teachitright calendar, which is on our website? We often put a number of key dates on there. It's just a useful place to go to see what's coming up. Half term is on the 25th to the 29th of October, but there will be no lessons in the second weekend, the 30th to the 31st of October. We will be reminding children and yourselves in the centres, so just be aware half term is fast approaching, 25th to the 29th of October. There won't be any lessons and nor will there be on the 30th to the 31st of October. A massive thank you to all of those children that attended our pre-pilot event at Trevelyan Middle School at the weekend. We were so impressed with the children, not only with their determination to answer some of the questions, but their stamina throughout the afternoon. There was a lot of questions that we covered off, and it gave us such a good indication of whether those questions were too difficult, whether they were too easy, and it was just brilliant to see the children just getting stuck in, having a go, and also seeing some of our Year 6 children who had come back to take part in this pilot, and it was certainly a really useful exercise for us. We will be sending out an overall report for the whole cohort just to give you an idea of how the children fared. There won't be individual reports. This would be something that we would do in an actual mock exam when we start taking those in the Easter and the summer months of next year. But thank you again for bringing your child along. As I say, it was lovely to see some of our former students back with us, but also so impressed with our Year 5 pupils who just got stuck into those questions and did incredibly well. So thank you again. Next thing to remind you about, this was actually something in our last Teachitright Tuesday update video, our new creative writing course that we're going to be running over half term. The dates of which are the 25th, 26th and 27th. That's the Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday of the half-term holidays. And it'll be run by Josephine Allen, a very experienced English teacher who's really looking forward to taking those pupils for those 3 days and covering off a variety of different activities to boost children's writing skills. There is a £50 discount for the camp, and so if you enter the discount code, and I'll bring that up on the next slide, then that will give you a £50 deduction for that camp. So hopefully as many of you can come along to our head office and take part in that wonderful new creative writing course. And likewise for our Year 6 children, those children that will be doing their exams potentially in November or January, you may well want to have a revision course over the October half term covering all the different subjects. And the discount code for that, as well as the creative writing, is TIROC 2021, and that will give you a £50 discount. We do hope as many children can attend those two events as possible. We certainly know how beneficial it is to do some revision over the October half term. So if you want to book, please do visit our website. There is a link in the main email that we've sent out as well. And we do hope we can support children not only for the creative writing, but also at our independent school revision camp as well. Our Year 6 online ISCB Common Pretest takes a little bit of a twist in the next sessions because we will be focusing on maths and English. The children have been doing verbal and non-verbal and doing incredibly well on those question types. If you did still want to join that course, you are more than welcome to come along just for the English and the maths. The English will concentrate on English comprehension, spelling, punctuation and grammar. And we'll also be looking at a variety of different subject areas in maths, including things like geometry, algebra, ratio and proportion, and statistics. So if you would like your child to join in on a Friday evening with Nikki Gautam, then they can still join for the last 3 weeks of the course, and that will then lead us up to the examinations. And we wish, of course, all of our students all the best with their common pre-test examinations in November. It was lovely to see lots of parents attend our first verbal reasoning workshop of this academic year, and we focused on CM and Reading Boys. And thank you for all the wonderful contributions in that workshop, including my colleague Louise Swan, who was able to give lots of tips and hints about how to support your child with verbal reasoning. This weekend, we're actually going to be focusing on GL assessment verbal reasoning question types, and again, would invite as many parents to come along to that Zoom event as possible. It will take place between 4 to 6 p.m. on October the 10th. And it is available to book now. So please do come along and join Louise and I while we go through all the different types of questions that fall under GL assessment verbal reasoning. And talking about Louise, as you will know, runs a wonderful book club on a Sunday afternoon. This is free of charge, and she's going to be looking at a wonderful book called How to Look for a Lost Dog. And just a little synopsis on that book. It's about 11-year-old Rosie, who's autistic and struggles to understand her classmates. But when her father gives her a stray dog, which she names Rain, the dog becomes her best friend, her anchor in a confusing world. So when Rain goes missing during a storm, Rose refuses to stop looking for her. It's a touching story from a beloved author of the Babysitters Club. So do come along. Louise is going to share a little snippet of that book. It certainly may inspire your children to go away and read it. But also, as always, they will have an opportunity to read their own books. And we had some wonderful books shared the weekend just gone, which I know Louise absolutely loves. So please do come and join us. We have put a Zoom link in the email as well. Just to mention about our Homework Support Club, I was able to pop in and have a look at what the Year 4 children were up to last night, and they were working incredibly hard, I think doing some work on compound words. Please do remember that if you want to come and join Tahira Arshad with that Homework Club, you're more than welcome to. You can ask questions, and we will also give children lots of support in terms of tips and hints on how to answer different question types. So Year 4 children 5:30 to 6:30, Year 5 children is 6:30 to 7:30. So you're more than welcome to join us on that if you would like to. While we're talking about homework, this has been one of the books that we've issued to our Year 5 pupils in this block, in Block 1. It is a brilliant book, it really is. What I also recognise, though, there are lots of quite challenging words for children. These words that are in this book are certainly very 11 plus appropriate, and it does give children a short bite-sized opportunity to take part in little activities all based around synonyms and antonyms. What we would also recommend is that this book is used in parallel with their word and meaning book, because the word and meaning book is a great place to store the words that they've come across. But certainly what we would suggest is that this synonyms and antonyms book is actually used throughout the year. It becomes an opportunity to go back to some of the exercise, and certainly in Block 6 it could be a book to return to have a look back through any words that they potentially didn't know. We'd also suggest to have a dictionary in parallel with this book. Maybe a good way of doing it is to go through the questions that you know, and any that you don't, you can then go to a thesaurus or a dictionary and look up what those words mean. But certainly don't feel that if you are finding those questions a little bit overwhelming and some of the words quite difficult, don't you worry. Some of those words will become more familiar as the course progresses. But certainly is a brilliant book written by Christine Draper, who is a teacher in a grammar school in Slough, and she certainly knows a lot of the words that have appeared in the actual 11 plus as well. Moving on to something that always gets our children very excited. This is our tokens, and these will be able to be spent from this weekend. So week 5, any of the week 5 lessons, we will be bringing some goodie boxes along for children to spend their hard-earned tokens in week 5. So please just remind your children to make sure they've got them in their bag, ready to spend. And I'm sure there will be a bit of a spending frenzy going on in our centres, and they certainly deserve it. The children have worked really hard so far and settled really well into their courses. One of the features that we do put in these videos is a tip of the week, and I'm going to be focusing on a non-verbal reasoning question type this week, and it's codes. For some of you, you may have tackled some code questions in your classes already, and these can vary in the way that they're presented. These happen to be vertical codes. There are also horizontal codes. But I'm actually going to share a 3-letter code with you. Predominantly they are 2 letters, but I've put in a 3-letter code just to show you maybe a slightly harder version. So what do we have to do? Well, the children are presented with some codes and some shapes, and these codes of course represent the shapes on the left. The way we would encourage the children to do it is to look for letters that are the same. So if we look at this first vertical column here, we've got 2 N's. And the question we would ask ourselves is, well, why are they similar? And you can probably tell that there are two blank squares. It's nothing to do with size. They're different sizes on both the hexagon and the square, but it's to do with the fact that the square is not shaded. We then come and look at our test shape, and you'll see that our test shape, the one that we've got to work the code out for, is actually shaded. So M is what we need. So I'm going to write M down because it might be that I can eliminate the ones that don't begin with M. So we can get rid of A, get rid of B, and we're left now with 3 options. 2 R's, why are they similar? Well, it's all to do with the size of the little square in the middle. We've got a small one, not a big one, so we're going to need an R in the middle. So in actual fact, I can eliminate C and eliminate E, and I'm left with D as the answer. Just to complete the code, we will look at the last letter, and you can see 2 X's is because of a big hexagon. We need a little one, so we need a Y. So one of the key elements with a non-verbal reasoning code question is applying elimination, and certainly using the options that you are given, but also looking for similarities with the shapes and finding the 2 letters or the 3 letters that are the same and asking yourself a question, why are those figures similar? I hope you found that useful, and I hope you're able to do those questions really well when you get to them. Our next feature, which we've been adding into our Tuesday Teachitright updates, is a resource feature. Last week, you may remember I talked to you about a game called Set. This week's game is a really fun vocabulary game, particularly good for spelling skills, and it's called Word on the Street. Now, Christmas is on the horizon, and if you do fancy getting a game for your child that not only does it improve their vocabulary but is a great game to play as a family, then Word on the Street may well be the one for you. I've given you a little diagram here. You can see all the alphabet letters down the middle, and the idea is to try and get those letters off the board. And the longer your words, the better. You have different topic words that you do need to try and spell. And as the slogan suggested, the wacky tug of words. And it is a great fun game. We have used it in some of our revision camps over the years, and can be purchased on Amazon. It is £14.96, so it's quite expensive, but certainly a brilliant game if you're looking for something to help develop your child's vocabulary. So, Word on the Street is the resource feature this week, and I hope you are able to give your child a chance to experience that game. And finally, some important dates for your diary, as Billy suggests. So, Assessment Week commences on the 9th of October, also an opportunity to spend your child's tokens. Louise's Book Club on the 10th of October. I hope as many children can join her for that as possible. It was a brilliant session last Sunday. Don't forget about our homework club as well. Come and join that on a Monday evening. And also on the 10th of October, 10th of October is a busy day, we've also got our GL parent workshop covering all of those verbal reasoning question types. I have just put a reminder about half term in there just because I know some of you may be thinking about what you're going to be doing over half term. Hopefully it's coming and joining us for all our vision camps, our creative writing and also our year 6 independent school courses. But just so you're aware, half term is between the 25th and the 29th of October. There will be no Teachitright lessons on the 30th to the 31st of October. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you found it beneficial and we look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you very much. Bye.